Hello and welcome back to my vlog. This is video number 46. It is Saturday morning. I can't see around this van. Hopefully there's nothing coming. Yeah, we're good. And I've just finished at the gym. And now I am going to sit in some traffic because that is one of my top 3 favorite pastimes, to go and do some shopping for groceries. Another of my favorites, and I'm sure, as you can tell by the sarcasm in my voice, none of those things are favorited by me at all. Here we are. I've travelled all of 20 yards out of the car park and we're stood still, so that's great. You know, it's a Saturday morning. Shops have only just opened, I think. No, they haven't. Saturday, so they would have opened earlier. I've got Sunday hours in my mind for some reason. The one thing that did open late, or does open late on Saturday, though I say late, it's not really late. It's more like casual opening time, is the gym. That doesn't open till 8 o'clock on weekends. So that kind of dictated what time I'll go shopping. Normally, I would go and do this kind of shop on a Sunday, so I'd go to the gym at 8, spend 2 hours there, get to the shops for 10 o'clock or half 10 whenever they open, and everything is hunky-dory. But I've obviously miscalculated. Actually, no, I haven't miscalculated anything. I got to the gym at opening time. It is what it is. I'm rambling. This is not what I want to talk about. I don't give a shit about going shopping really and what time shops open. It is what it is. That's just a fact of life. What did I want to talk about? Oh yeah, so something I've been noticing on especially social media, because I suppose social media is the most prolific area where you'll find this. I'm of course talking about business coaches, internet marketers, social media marketers, marketing agencies or ad agencies, anything like that. Naturally, they all flock to social media because that's where the largest potential customer base would be, or at least that's where almost everyone in the world comes together naturally, whether they're looking to buy something or not. And half of the time, when someone stumbles upon an ad for something that they maybe didn't realize they wanted or needed, or a product that they've never heard of, or a service that they weren't aware of, and then, you know, they can buy into it or pay for it. Yeah, it's basically gives, if you've got anything to sell, product or service, social media is obviously where you go to peddle your wares. If you weren't aware of that, then welcome to the 21st century. We've been doing this for a few years now. Good on you for catching up, but I'm sure you're no stranger to ads on social media, where we've become very good at ignoring them. Anyway, I'm digressing yet again. So what I'm trying to get at it, what I'm saying is, or what I've seen and noticed, if I can get my consonants out today, is 10, 15, 20 years ago, every product or service was led by or marketed by a large agency or an industry giant or some other large company, and that created some industry professionals who occasionally would I don't want to say spiral off. They don't spiral off. They I don't know, they go off and do their own thing sometimes, you know, and then that creates new companies, and then that creates more industry pros, and the cycle continues and everyone's happy and it's great. But the thing that I've been noticing in the last few months is, and this is especially true since the pandemic and lockdowns and stuff like that, when people have been bored at home. The industry pros are being swapped out and changed for average Joes. No longer are we seeing industry pros leading categories or disciplines of, be it marketing or business coaching, anything like that. Instead, we are seeing average Joes do it, for the reason that, and this is just a personal speculation, and we're parked, for the reason that average people are more relatable to the masses. Not everyone wants to deal with large companies or large industries or industry giants or industry pros, etc. You know, whether it's for business, personal, even being like going to the gym, getting a personal trainer. I'm sure if you remember infomercials from the 90s and early 2000s, when someone would try and sell some new exercise equipment or a personal training program, the guy who's selling it to you, or the guy or the girl who's created it, they are absolutely shredded. Naturally, they had some chemical enhancements and whatever, but they were shredded. They looked like a professional in whatever they do. Nowadays, though, even personal trainers, they don't always look like the product of their clients. Now, that's not a bad thing, because not everyone wants to look the same. Not everyone wants to be completely shredded, or not everyone wants massive muscles, or, you know, it. Just because you don't look like your clients want to look doesn't mean that you're bad at your job, because all of it just comes down to how you can convey and put across the knowledge and the lessons for discipline, or the motivation to actually go and do those things, you know, be successful in what it is you're trying to do and be. So yeah, personal trainers, they're looking more and more like, I hate the term, but average Joes, you know, a bit like Average Joe's Gym from Dodgeball. And it's the same for like business coaches. So in the past, it might only be a large company who's maybe having some issues. They would hire a business coach, and they would go to an agency, and they would sign up for some contract for whatever, a year or something, to coach the CEO or the managing director into doing certain things. But nowadays, because there are so many people who work for themselves and have small local businesses, or even work from home, etc., they don't want to deal with those large corporate type coaches. They want to deal with someone who's like them, someone who understands and gets them. And in the past, where a business coach, or like say a mentor, might brag about being able to get his clients to from his beginnings up to an 8 or 9 or 10 figure revenue or income or whatever, now you're seeing people who are bragging about generating 6-figure incomes, which on the grand scale of things, that is minute, really. It's tiny. They're dealing with much smaller amounts than what the coaches and mentors of yesterdecade dealt with. I'm not saying there aren't people who will still coach or drive people to go and earn 7, 8, 9, 10 and more figure incomes and revenues, etc. But it's just that the smaller guys are becoming more prolific. And having said all that, I don't know why or if any of this is relevant or helpful or useful or whatever, but it's something I've noticed, and I think it's a sign of the change of I suppose, a modern evolution of how people view themselves. Because maybe 10, 20 years ago, people wouldn't think that they were, maybe didn't think that they were good enough to do something themselves, to go and work for themselves. And now we're seeing time and again, more and more people are working for themselves, showing that there is success, and it's inspiring more people to go out there and do it. And I think that's why some larger companies now are failing, because they are not treating their employees like people, they're treating them like assets, which, is wrong. So yeah, just something to think about. I don't know, I might develop this idea further and actually make a point, but for now, like I said, it's just an observation, it's just a thought. I don't know if I'm the only one who's noticed it. I can't be the only one, because it's so prolific, it's unreal. And I'm seeing it every single day. There's a new marketer or a coach or a trainer, or a few of them quite often message me on Instagram as well. It's like, oh yeah, I'm trying to sell you this product, and some of them are quite pushy. You think, wow, you're either desperate or really, really good, but at the same time you ask them for like a portfolio, and that's one thing that does seem to go amiss. That's one thing I haven't seen a lot of recently. So larger companies, like especially if you look at construction companies, they pride themselves on the size or the quality of their portfolio, the jobs they've done, the houses they've built, or the projects they've completed. And that's one of the reasons why a lot of people tend to buy services or products from larger companies, because they have that portfolio. They've got proof that they are good. Now, a lot of these smaller guys, I don't think they are concentrating on that portfolio too much, which is a bad thing. I mean, if they're getting business, maybe they're doing something right. Yeah, sure, whatever, carry on. But for me, I've always been someone who, I like to see the proof. I like to see what's possible first before I buy into something. It's just like that little level of level-headedness. But yeah, I need to go do some shopping. That's it for today. That's been video 46. Getting ever closer to the big 50, halfway to 100. Yeah. Anyway, I will catch up with you tomorrow. Have a great weekend. I see the sun's coming back out. If it's sunny where you are, please go and enjoy it. Yeah. Until tomorrow, have a great day.